The gargoyle was cold beneath my gloved hand. Rain lashed against my cowl, blurring the neon smear of Gotham below. Tonight felt different. Tonight, the city hummed with a nervous energy, a pre-storm silence that even I, usually impervious to such things, couldn't ignore. I swung down, landing silently on the fire escape of the Ace Chemical building. It was a hunch, fueled by whispers from my network, hushed conversations about a new player, a mountain of a man, injecting venom into Gotham's already diseased veins. Bane, my hunch proved correct. Inside, the air hung thick with the stench of chemicals and fear. A group of thugs, recognizable by the crudely drawn Kingpin tattoos on their necks, were unloading crates marked with a biohazard symbol. Bane stood over them, a hulking silhouette against the flickering fluorescent lights, his face a grotesque mask of tubes and wires. I dropped in, a shadow against the grimy floor. Kingpin's sloppy seconds. Not exactly the 18, are you? They reacted predictably, a flurry of panicked shouts and clumsy gunfire. I moved through them like a phantom, disarming, incapacitating, leaving a trail of groaning bodies in my wake. Bane watched, impassive, his eyes, or what I could see of them, glinting with something that wasn't fear. It was calculation. Batman, he rumbled, his voice a distorted growl. I've been expecting you. Before I could respond, the lights went out. Not a flicker, not a surge, just complete and utter darkness. Panic erupted from the remaining thugs. I activated my cowl's infrared vision, painting the scene in shades of green and gray. Bane was gone. The thugs were scrambling. Then, a new sound. A rhythmic thud, like a heartbeat amplified to a deafening roar. Someone was moving in the darkness, faster than anyone humanly possible. A figure slammed into me, sending me crashing into a stack of crates. My head reeled. This wasn't Bane. This was something else entirely. The figure moved with a grace that belied its power, a controlled ferocity that was almost that elegant. I recovered, throwing the batarang. It whistled through the air, connecting with a metallic thunk. The figure staggered, but didn't fall. Instead, he let out a sharp, guttural yell, a sound of pure, unadulterated pain. Who are you? I demanded, my voice tight. The devil, the figure replied, his voice rough, strained. Daredevil. Daredevil. The vigilante of Hell's Kitchen. What was he doing in Gotham? Suddenly, the lights flickered back on. Bane stood in the doorway, a cruel smile twisting his lips. In his hand, he held a device, a sonic emitter. A little distraction, he said, his eyes fixed on Daredevil. But now, the real game begins. He activated the emitter. A high-pitched whine filled the air, agonizingly loud. The thugs screamed, clutching their heads. I gritted my teeth, feeling a sharp pain behind my eyes. But Daredevil, he doubled over, clutching his ears, a raw, primal scream tearing from his throat. Then it hit me. Daredevil. Hell's Kitchen. The man was blind. The sonic emitter was a targeted weapon, designed to exploit his heightened senses. Bane was using his disability against him. This changed things. I grappled towards Bane, unleashing a smoke pellet. The room filled with disorienting gray, obscuring the view. I slammed into Bane, driving him back, forcing him to drop the emitter. I could hear Daredevil, still struggling, trying to regain his bearings. Get out of here. I yelled at him. Now, he didn't argue. I heard him move, a blur of motion against the backdrop of chaos. Dealing with Bane was a different story. He was strong, ridiculously so. He moved with a brutal efficiency, each blow a calculated strike. My armor absorbed most of the impact, but the force was undeniable. We traded blows, the air thick with the smell of sweat and chemicals. I dodged a haymaker that would have crushed bone, countering with a swift kick to his knee. He grunted, but barely flinched. He grabbed me, lifting me off my feet. I felt the pressure building, his grip tightening. I knew what was coming. The backbreaker, Just as he was about to snap me in half, a red blur slammed into him. Daredevil. He was a whirlwind of fists and feet, striking with impossible speed and precision. Bane roared, releasing me to grapple with the devil of Hell's Kitchen. I used the opportunity to recover, pulling myself to my feet. Daredevil was fighting with a desperation born of pain and rage. He was good, damn good, but Bane was too strong. He caught Daredevil's fist, twisting his arm with sickening force. Enough. Bane bellowed, throwing Daredevil aside like a rag doll. He turned his attention back to me, his eyes burning with hatred. You cannot stop me, Batman. Gotham will fall, then we'll fall together, I growled, lunging forward. The fight raged on. We were both battered, bruised, pushed to our limits. But Bane was relentless, his strength seemingly inexhaustible. I knew I couldn't win this alone. Then, an idea sparked in my mind. A risky one, but one that might just work. Daredevil. I yelled, dodging a blow that would have taken my head off. The crates. The ones marked with the biohazard symbol. They're unstable. Hit them with everything you've got. Daredevil, who was struggling to stand, seemed to understand instantly. He moved towards the crates, his movement still hampered by the pain, but driven by a fierce determination. Bane realized what we were planning. He roared in fury, charging towards Daredevil. I intercepted him, tackling him to the ground. Do it. I yelled. Daredevil unleashed a barrage of punches and kicks, each blow landing with pinpoint accuracy on the weakened seams of the crates. A hissing sound filled the air, followed by a cloud of noxious gas. The thug screamed and coughed, collapsing to the floor. Bane coughed, his masked face contorted in agony. The gas was affecting him, weakening him. It was our chance. Together, we unleashed a final, coordinated assault. I focused on disabling his venom supply, severing the tubes that pumped the drug into his system. Daredevil, guided by the sounds of Bane's labored breathing, delivered a series of debilitating blows to his pressure points. Bane crumpled, his body convulsing as the venom supply was cut off. We had won. But the victory felt hollow. We stood there, panting, examining each other. I finally got a good look at Daredevil. His costume was ripped and torn, his face bruised and bloodied. He was blind, yes, but his other senses seemed to operate on a level I couldn't comprehend. Not exactly a team-up I expected, I said, breaking the silence. You either, he replied, flexing his injured arm. So, what now? You gonna lock me up in Arkham? Not tonight, I said. But I need to know why you're in Gotham. He hesitated for a moment, then sighed. Kingpin. He's expanding his operation, moving into Gotham. I followed the trail. He's allied himself with Bane, Kingpin. It all made sense now. The pieces were falling into place. We need to talk, I said. I think we have a common enemy, he nodded. I'm listening. We moved into the shadows, two figures against the backdrop of a troubled city. Batman and Daredevil. An unlikely alliance, forged in a crucible of chaos. The war against crime was a long one, and I knew, with chilling certainty, it was far from over. But tonight, at least, we had won a battle. And perhaps, just perhaps, we had found an ally in the darkness. The night was young, and Gotham was waiting.